Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, thanks.
Also, Ravi, can I come on video?
Hello?
Yeah, could you come on video?
Yeah. Yeah, are you able to hear me? See me?
Yeah, I can hear you. There is some background noise, Ravi, but
Yes, here some Maza is, 1 o'clock Muslim Saza is.
okay, fine. Okay, fine. I'll just call my panel.
Hello?
Let me just call my panel. One
Okay, sure.
second.
పెద్దలాగా పెడుతున్నాం కదా
Separate classes.
హలో
Hi, Ramesh.
యా హలో
Hi. Can you able to hear me?
యా టర్న్ ఆన్ ద వీడియో
Yeah. You can start the interview.
యా
Hi, Ravi. Can you briefly explain about yourself?
Yeah, this is Ravi Kumar. I have total 7.2 years of experience as a UI developer. So I have the skills like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Angular, and a little bit of React. So and coming to my company is Kino Technologies. Here I working from the last 7 years. This is my only one company. So this in this company I work for the multiple projects as a UI developer. So coming to my schools, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Angular, and React. Relevant experience in Angular is around 4 years, and React is around 3 years, something like that. So this is my little bit about me. Hello.
Yeah, I can able to hear you. Okay, your overall experience is 7.3, right?
Yes, yes.
What is the relevant experience in React?
React is around 3.5.
Okay. So, 3.5. So in this 3.5, which component style you have worked on? Class or functional?
Starting I work for class components. Nowadays I'm working on the functional components only.
Functional components. So we can go with the basic JavaScript first, and then we can go with HTML and other things.
Yeah, sure.
Can you tell me what is the difference between let, var, and const?
Yeah, let where concept for declaring a variable. Basically, where and let are declaring a variable. We can declare the variable and we can declare the variable. We can assign the value later in the for the where and let. But for the constant with declaration and assigning the value must be in the same first time only. For the constants, once we assign the value, we cannot change the value throughout the program. The main difference between let and where is let is a block level variable. No, for example, local level scope variable. For example, if I declare the variable using the let in a block, we cannot use that variable outside the block. But where is a global variable? We can declare in the block. We can use outside the block also. So where is the global level? Let is the scope level. These are the main difference.
Okay. Can you tell me what is the current designation in your company?
Current
Designation.
my senior web developer.
Okay. So in this 3.5 years, you have worked on multiple projects, right?
Yeah.
So
Not
what are
3.5.
the
Not I work on Angular also.
Okay.
React, yeah.
Oh, they asked me only to validate on React.
Oh, okay, then fine. Yeah, but in React, I work for one project, one big project. Right?
Oh, so what are the challenges you faced and how you resolved them? Like,
Basically, the channels means I mean like for getting data, when you're getting large number of data, and sometimes retaining components is not happen sometimes. So updation of the component for every props change. Mainly for large data, how you manage this type of challenge, I will learn step by step. Yeah.
okay. When creating a component, did you use any design patterns suggested for React?
Generally, for the starting, no, but later we implement like atom structure. I think we use the atomic structure, more atoms, more you have these atoms, columns, moleculars. So we are dividing the components small pieces. For example, we have a page. We can divide the header component, and in the header component again we can name the menu items, and menu items we can name every list item, individual components. So the atomic the region pattern user.
Okay. So how have you handled test cases?
You will Jasmine Karma. In the React, I use just cases, like taking the some shallow component and that will find the elements position, and and finding the property, and property of particular mock function is calling. So this type of before after each these type of things.
Okay. So did you like created any documentation for a component, like
Document.
tools like Storybook?
Yeah, storybook you use. I mean, we're using the storybooks, the for the template system and our project system. What are the components? We have actually they create some separate templates for that way. They create some storybook. Yeah, I have idea on that one. Yeah.
So in your project, how you start the Storybook?
First we will declare what are the things under this under every section. What are the sections for every section? What are the things we need to configure, and we create the storybooks like that. Yeah.
No, how you start the Storybook locally?
Actually, there are already existing story book. We just modify the template, the files. I mean, um, for example, let's take the in our system we have the accordion. So for the accordion story book, we create the one file. In that file, we change the content. So like that. So we define some content for the storybook. Yeah, like that.
Okay. So what is the difference between functional and class?
So class components are useful class components for creating the React components which have the render method. So functional components just rendering the view. Class components use the class objects, and function just use the function. The main difference is in the class components we have the lifecycle methods. In the functional components we don't have. We can achieve that lifecycle methods using the huge effective hook. So these type of the changes, differences.
Sir, Ravi, give me 1 minute. Sorry. Okay, can you tell me the life cycle methods which is used on class?
Mainly we can define the life cycle in three stages like mounting, unmounting, mounting, updating, and mounting. This type of stage. In mounting stage, we have the rendering, and component will mount, and we get the state props get the state props from update. Component these are the things. Component will mount, component after update, component after update, And in the unknown in the updating stage, we have the component. Again, we have the lifecycle get state from forms. Components update will update, and last we have the components will unmount.
So the component did mount and component should update and then component will unmount it.
Yeah.
How you will achieve these three methods inside a functional component?
For that one, use the use effect hook. Okay. In the use effect hook, what we will do is if we have the for use effect for use effect hook we have the two things we need to. First one is the arrow function. Second one is the dependency. If we are not passed any dependence, so every time it will call for every update. That's for the like component should update for every update it will call. If we give the second argument as empty array, only the first time will call. Only the first time rendering it will call. To achieve the unmounting, we will use the return statement and in the use effect.
Okay. How do you manage data in the React component? What's the basic purpose?
Data.
Yeah, data.
Managing data means we are getting data from APIs like that.
No, the local data.
We're using state, right?
Yes.
States, use state. We go to use state too. So,
what is the difference between state and props?
state are like the local data of the components. We are using the data only inside the component only. And we cannot directly change the state value. If you want to change update the state value, we use the set state functions in classical, and we can define that use state hook. We give the two arguments. The props are coming data from the outside. We are passing data from the outside to the component. That is all the props.
Okay. What is props drilling and how to avoid it?
Prop drilling means, for example, we have the A component, B component, C component. We cannot directly pass the data from props from A component to B component. We need to pass from A component to B component, B component to C component, C component to D component. So this is like a prop drilling.
How to avoid them?
Well, I think it's like a use context is a use.
Okay. So did you use the did you aware of the Redux?
Yeah, for the large number of the application of the large number of data, we will. I mean, then it is that is better to maintain the Redux state, all those things. Redux. So coming to the Redux, we are maintaining data in the stores. So from the stores, we have the state value for every data object. So using the Redux, we can update the data or we can create the data, and we can subscribe the data based on some dispatch actions. This is the flow for the Redux.
Can you clearly explain one more time the flow of the data?
For example, we have the component. For this, if we want component data, we need to subscribe data from the store. Okay, in the store we are getting the data from the API, and in the store it's there. Okay, if we want to get data from the store, we need to pass the reducer. Okay, based on some dispatch action. For example, for one dispatch action, it will call one reducer. For that reducer, we need to pass some payload. That payload will maybe it will subscribe the data or it will update the data based on the action we can give it. So this is the flow.
Okay. For example, you have a functional component and the user data. You need to access the user data from the store. Okay. What native method you will use to get the data to the function?
Actually, we have the connect method. Connect first we need to connect our component to the particular store, particular date, and then we connect like match props from match this props and match this method. Two methods are there. For two methods are one are for this property we are getting from particular store for state value. The other function is the map display something I forget the two functions are there. That is for second for the action we need to call some action from in the store. Yeah. So two ways of one is for getting the props from the store, other one is getting the calling display section from the store. So two things are used using the connect method, connect function. We will get these two methods.
Is there any other way to connect a functional component to the store?
Other way, we need to create the store we need to call the store with users in unit import. Again, we from the store we need to call them some display action like this. This is the other way I think so.
Okay, did you ever heard about use dispatch and use selector hooks?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said to yeah, if we without connect without match dispatch map to functions I told right. So then using the dispatch we call the action. Use dispatch we're calling the action.
Okay. Can you name some hooks and explain the use of them?
For example, use state for creating the local state in functional stored values, and use effect as per previously told for the maintain the lifecycle maintenance, and use contents for and use contents user ref is there, and also use memo use callback is there. Use memo for memorizing the data, memorizing the values. Use callback after something we need to call it callback function, and use history something so many things I use. This type of main I use.
So how you implement styling in the code?
We for that we the styled components we define the styles in the object. We pass the styles to that styled components we use.
Okay. Is there any other way to style the component?
Another we import the styles in the separate style file. We are importing the style file using the class names. So we are using the user style.
Okay. Are you familiar with preprocessor like SAS and then
Yes,
less?
yes, yeah, yeah.
So what is the benefit of using SAS?
So we can maintain the template system like whole set. We can maintain the all colors, primary color, button colors. We can maintain the like in the variables. So we can use that variables inside the CS properties directly. First we will declare that in the root classes, root CS file in the variables, primary color, button color, site color, all those colors we will maintain variables. Other things we can assign the styles from parent to subsection. For example, if we want to assign the divs in the paragraph, first paragraph inside the paragraph line, we can call inner styles inside in the style sheet. But in the CS we cannot do that. We cannot do like yeah.
Okay. So how you achieve a responsiveness?
Using the media code, it's media based on the width and max, width, minimum height. We can give the achieve the responsibility.
Oh. So did you work on the ADA part of it?
Which one?
ADA, accessibility.
We give the access key for every input to access key, accessibility key. So based on that I have idea, not much more, but I had.
Not access thing. What I'm saying is, for example, if you're creating a website for US and Europe countries, the website, according to the law, the website needs to be accessible through screen reader. No, the screen reader can read the website for blind people.
Yeah, that's
So
for
for that, you
that's
need
for
to
that's
include
for
some.
the yeah that's for why we give some accessibility keys. I mean, I work for that one. So we need to give some accessibility key for every element like that. Yeah.
Can you name some attributes?
That is a forget the accessibility key. Something one key one attribute is there for every element. Key value.
For example, I'll tell you one thing, and then if you know some other thing, you can explain. For example, it's an area label for labeling the.
Area level. Yes, area level.
Can you
Yeah.
tell me something else?
Yes.
Because everything is prefixed.
Yeah, area label. Yeah, that I hear. Yeah. I mean, only one time I did, but I have if we documentation we can follow that one. We can do. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Ravi. We can quickly have a small task and then come to question. Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay. So you can share your screen. Okay. Go to the chat and then copy the URL. Open it in your editor.
It's loading. Yeah.
So the basic setup of the project, the functionality, most of the things are already done. Okay, what you have to do is this component, this project has a small flaw. Like for example, this you can see the actual site right in the right hand side.
Yeah.
The site is divided into two parts. One is movie list and then movie preview. Okay.
Okay.
So what you have to do is on click of this movie list. Right now it is consoling. Okay, consoling the movie name. On click of the movie list, it's consoling the movie name.
Okay.
Yeah. So what you have to do is on click of the movie list, it needs to be updated. Like right now the Kung Fu, can you able to see the Kung Fu Panda, right? It is highlighted in the blue color and then Kung Fu Panda is selected. So when you click the second, any movie name, it needs to be highlighted. Once you highlight that one, the left hand side button. No, right now the first movie is selected. So it's showing the first movie in the left hand side button. Once you select the second movie, it should show the second movie and those details.
Okay.
A small connection is missing there, so you can explore and debug.
Okay, let me try.
Okay. All the best.
This is the code.